for and taken.
Touchdown.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that,
Gun!
I foul it away because
Gun!
I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He'll drop the throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Three down. SOS.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Able to fight through 110. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Gun! Check.
Now a handoff looking right. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. So Mike's number one.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Check. Patriot.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Back 99 Philly. Here
Nice
we go.
play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play in here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Watch him now, Barney.
Play action here on 1st down. Going left side, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And it pops breaks free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Safety's creeping.
Throwing on third and long. Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Hey, boys, we got 4. Leopard! Leopard!
Now a push carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Tight, tight, watch left. Tight, tight, watch left.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
On first and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one.
They get it to him running left. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is going to be Packer football. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball.
All right, now, lucky 56.
The best ones
Lucky
have
56.
that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Ravens have got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They take over first and 10 in excellent field position here.
Four down.
Now they'll run it on the taunt. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Giving one on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. A strong running. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Go down. Ringo. 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 What do you want?
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
3:19! 3:19!
Back's mine.
From the gun, Murray. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Andrews, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are in for 6.
Touchdown. Nice catch, offense. Good job, offense.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be
Here we go
in.
now.
But I love
Green
the phrase,
39,
if it ended
Green
today.
39.
I can guarantee you that's what they discussed in their locker room, in their meeting room. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space
All right,
and
now,
break
lucky
a tackle
56.
along the
Lucky
way.
56.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The quick slant, good for 8
Check.
and
Patriot.
a first.
Patriot.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into that script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Gets around him. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. On 1st and 10, Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
Here's Murray. Flush to his right. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Blue 90.
Off play action. Murray. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
You don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise, just don't do it.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Power running by Zeke. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, guys, check me out.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right half, just a 34-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting through. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey! No. Check. Patriot! Hot!
Crunch!
Murray now.
Rush it!
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
No. Check.
23 yards on the play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. You have to be a little careful. You're losing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
That's it, baby. That's it. Tight end left. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Lay down.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Looking to throw. Murray. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. The last drive, remember, a similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, sometimes you have confidence confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down.
Detroit!
Watch the safety creep. Mike 1.
Off The play fake. Murray out to his left. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Back to throw. Murray. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on fourth down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Murray. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Detroit! Detroit!
90 is a Mike.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Gun!
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Oh, yeah!
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
90.
Back to throw here.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Detroit!
So
Detroit!
in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll pitch it at the Bell. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Jadavian Clowney there on the stop.
Back 99
He has
Philly, here
elite
we go!
instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking left side, he's got it complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to the right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Check hot route. Hot.
Leopard! Leopard!
Check safety. Check safety.
On third down. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second
All right,
down.
now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You
Yeah.
see what I did there?
Yeah. He
All right,
needs
now,
better
lucky
protection,
56.
that's for
Lucky
sure.
56.
On third down, he'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Detroit! Detroit!
Double tight. 4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right at 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
4 down.
Now let's go!
Looking to throw. Murray. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Leopard!
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Mike 34.
Over!
Crunch time, defense.
Back to throw. Murray.
I got him.
Looking right sideline, that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Murray. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 7 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Now, lucky 56.
A big gain there,
56.
and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Ravens, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they suffered just their second loss as they drop to 8-2 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.